Santa Rosa in Sonoma County here, now welcoming the grand départ of the 7th year of the Amgen Tour of California. It opens with a stage around the area of 116 miles, sponsored by Rabobank. We'll see plenty of the Pacific Ocean, we'll see plenty of the wines around here. These people are waiting to see plenty of this great tour. Hello everybody, behind me is the finishing line of today's stage, and we'll bring that to you live. I'm Phill Liggett, alongside me is Paul Sherwen, and we're all set to go, as is the race here now in its 7th year. Underneath the Highway 101, we pop into our vision. Sagan has gone into second place here, the man who punctured only 5 miles out from the finish, and Tom Bonan is up there behind him as we go to the other side of the tunnel. Liggett gas boy is running on adrenaline here.
He certainly is. You can see the line now, looked over his shoulder. He's waiting for that last little bit of a kick for the line, but he's right in the middle.
As they come up towards the line, Peter Sagan is going to get it. Can you believe that? From a puncture to victory on the day. Bonan was there as well. I'm not surprised that Liggett gas boys are saluting this one. 22 years old, Peter Sagan, the Slovakian national road race champion. He survived a flat tire near the finish yesterday to win the opening stage of the Amgen Tour of California. Yesterday, the stunning scenery around Santa Rosa welcomed the start of the 7th Amgen Tour of California. The crowds watched as 8 riders led the way around Sonoma County. Caught with 5 miles to go, stage favourite Peter Sagan flatted with only 4 miles left. Then, as Sagan caught up, a mass pile-up ended the hopes of others. In the end, Sagan, riding on the adrenaline of his day, ended it with a victory. The 22-year-old Slovakian is the first holder of the yellow jersey in the Amgen Tour of California, as today we tackle the slopes of the Empire Grade and Bear Creek Road. It's stage 2 next. Hello everybody, I'm Phill Liggett, alongside me is Paul Sherwen, and yes, well, the first stage yesterday, I think, Paul, it was a very hard day. We said it was going to be a tough race. It destroyed the hopes already of half the field.
Yes, in fact, there's only 60 riders left in this bike race who can win overall, and let's not forget, Phil, when we came down here in 2009, a certain Levi Leipheimer laid the foundations of his final overall victory on these very same roads.
Well, yesterday, the man who turned potential disaster into success was the 22-year-old national champion, Peter Sagan. It was an incredible ride from a flat tyre to first place, and the reward, the Amgen yellow jersey.
Yes, this man, you know, Phil, at 22 years of age, he rides with the experience of a seasoned professional. It's amazing to think how long he's been around, because he really is going to be a star of the future.
Behind him in Great Van Avermaet. The field is closing in, and the field is launched, and the rider second of those 2 riders in green is in fact Lee Howard. If he wins this, he could be the next leader of the race, and Sagan knows that. This is the tricky bend, Paul. They lock very sharply into the home straight. Sagan is over the shoulder of Lee Howard, and he's launched a searing sprint. So Taylor Phinney predicted he'd been 1 and 2. It looks like Taylor Phinney was right, because he has won his second stage, and he gets the 10-second time bonus.
And he got it, Phil, all in that final corner. He didn't back it off. He never touched his brakes at all. He had the right line going around that corner. No, didn't lose any momentum at all. Yes, congratulations. This man is going to definitely be the chef of the orchestra.
It's day 3 of the 8-day Amgen Tour of California, and the big question is, can Peter Sagan, who has dominated this race as a 22-year-old, maintain that domination here in California today? Yesterday he was left sitting in the road, and he remounted again, only to narrowly avoid colliding with his own team car. And in Santa Cruz County, he won again. Hello everybody, and welcome. It's a beautiful day here in California, and the riders already heading towards us. I'm Phill Liggett, alongside me is Paul Sherwen, and the question, you know, that everybody is beginning to ask on this race, Paul, we're only on day 3, but there's only been one stage winner every day, Peter Sagan. Can he win this tour on Sunday in LA Live?
I think the problem for the contenders, Phil, is if we keep giving him 10-second time bonuses every day, he's going to build himself off a very big buffer. The big question mark I would put over the shoulders of Peter Sagan, though, is his time trialling ability. The big guys at the top of the leaderboard, like Nibali, like Chris Horner, they can ride a good individual time trial. But if they go into the mountains, and don't forget, Peter Sagan, actually, the last time we went up to Big Bear Mountain, he was the stage winner there.
Yes, so there must be reason for concern. 2 days, 2 wins for Peter Sagan, and he's not yet 23 years years of age. Here he is. It's becoming a bit of a tradition every night, the traditional wearing of the leader's yellow jersey. Now, we've told you this is a perfect sprint finish here. Long straight line up towards the finishing line. Rabobank are desperate for a win. They've been very, very determined. A slight drift of wind down here in Livermore coming into the face of the riders, which means the sprinter must come out of the slipstream late into that wind. Matthews is in second place for Rabobank.
They will know, they know that. These sprinters, they know if they start the sprint too early and they go into the wind, then the guys behind them will take advantage. Sitting in the middle, I can see the pale blue jersey there of Tom Bonan. There is the Kendo, 1 kilometre to go banner. That's the most important thing these riders know now. They know how much time it's going to take to the finish. 60 seconds they'll cover this final kilometre.
And that could be even an exaggeration now as they line up for the line here. And the fact the white jerseys of Argos here, so too will be Marcel Kittel as his team AG2 are starting the launch for the line. But you know, we've got the youngsters from the Bontrager team, the black boys on the right hand side, jerseys there. And also now we're looking for the likelihood finish of the yellow jersey of Peter Sagan. But it is Garmin Barracuda, and I think that is Nathan Haas who's making a run for the line. But now there's a rush on the right side of the road. But the yellow jersey of Peter Sagan at the moment is out of it. And watch for the red jersey of Team BMC, because that will be Greg Van Evenbelt, the last corner. And they can now see the finishing line ahead. The sprinters could have been washed away here, some of them anyway. As we go up towards the line now, it's Hausler. Hausler takes on Sagan. Heinrich Hausler goes for the line. Sagan is after him. Matthews is on his wheel. It is Hausler, and Tom Bonan launches as well. It is going to be Sagan again on the line as he hits the line. Make it 3 out of 3.
That is unbelievable. Peter Sagan came out of the pack there. Bonan was coming fast up alongside him. Heinrich Hausler knew what he had to do to beat him. He had to get the kick on him first. He tried to do that, ran out of steam a little bit up towards the finishing line. But Peter Sagan, as every bike rider in the peloton says, Phill, this guy is unbelievable. He is incredible. It certainly hurt everybody. That's what it looked like briefly at the back. This looks like Gerard Cholek, one of the riders from Omega Quickstep. He's a very fast sprinter himself, but it's not for himself this afternoon. He's trying to make sure he keeps Tom Bonan up at the front. He does not want the riders on the left and right hand side to come around and swamp his team sprinter, which is why he's keeping the pace nice and high. Bonan is still there in 4th or 5th position in the pale blue jersey, but he's getting swamped over on the left.
Well, this is the difficulty now, because here in the USA these roads are really wide. They're not like the European narrow approaches. We're under the Kenda, 1 kilometre to go banner now, 1,000 metres to the line, and it's Team Garmin Barracuda, and that's the team of Heinrich Hausler who's on the front.
There's one more corner to go, and these riders are going around it as we speak, and now they're looking up, and if they look up straight in front of them, they'll see the finishing line now. They're looking back. They've got the white jerseys. That's going to be for Marcel Kittel. He's a rapid man. Tom Bonan is still nicely placed in the middle of all of that pack. So too is Fred Rodriguez of Team Exergy. He's in about 4th or 5th, but Bonan has got a good position.
Marcel Kittel is the 3rd man in line here, and it's also Josh Atkins, his team Bontrager, who's trying to break in on the action as well. Watch Sagan, dead centre of our picture in the yellow jersey as Rabobank launches Michael Matthews. Matthews is looking for the back wheel of Sagan and has got it here. As they continue to the line now, they're going to break clear. Bonan's on the far right as Sagan hits him with the wheel, and Hausler's on his wheel. The top 2 finishes for the last 3 days. Is he going to do it again? And he's on the line and he gets it. It's impossible. 4 out of 4 for Peter Sagan.
Well, all of the top sprinters in the Amgen Tour of California there, Phill, were on his shoulders. He waited and bided his time. Marcel Kittel, Tom Bonan, Heinrich Hausler on the left-hand side, but calmly, well, not that calm, coming up through the middle with power and acceleration. Boom, boom, makes it number 4.
Well, I'm not going to talk about Peter Sagan. I'm going to ask you, Paul, how does Heinrich Hausler feel 4 second places in 4 days?
Well, he did everything. They've tried every which way they can to find the right tactic to blow this guy out of the water.
Hello everybody, welcome to our live coverage here on NBC. I'm Phill Liggett, alongside me is Paul Sherwen. It's a beautiful day here outside of LA Live, and for Los Angeles it's a massive sporting day. You bet your life he's right. He's the big man on the left, the last of those boys in the turquoise tops. That is Tom Bonan there. Also behind him, Heinrich Hausler is getting in position, and here comes the rush on the left too of the black-topped riders from Orica Green Edge, bringing forward Lee Howard and Robbie McEwen as they get get into the last 1.5 kilometers now. This looks like they've got it well organised. The team from Belgium, Omega Pharma Quick Step, have got Tom Bonen last of their group.
This is called the lead-out train, and what they do, they sacrifice themselves. The man on the front will ride as hard and as long as they can. They're inside the Kenda, 1 kilometre to go mark now. They're going to take less than 60 seconds to get to the finishing line. The riders of a team like that, like Tom Bonen, they'll peel off one by one, and in theory, then they let Tom Bonen. But look how he's getting squashed around the corners there by the liquid gas riders in their lime green jerseys. They're trying to set it up for Peter Sagan once again.
Sagan is in there. He is the darker green of the lime green jerseys. There he is, far right now. He's moving his own. That's an XG rider gone onto his shoulder. So there are 2 riders possible. That's Fred Rodriguez who's moved up there. The sprinter on Team XG, right on the shoulder of Sagan. They're both waiting. They're going down 600 metres. This is the lineup for the finish now. They will see the finish.
We are now approaching 40 miles an hour. Bonen's up there into second position. They've gone round this corner in perfect lineup. Bonen is in second place. Right behind him there is Peter Sagan. A little bit further back is Heinrich Hausler.
As they go for the line now, Tom Bonen is the second wheel. This is the best chance he's had the whole race. Is he going to... There goes Sagan. Sagan is on the left. Bonen is taking him on. Peter Sagan drives to the line. It is win number 5 for him. Unbelievable. He is just too quick. And this time Tom Zonen has got second. Well, in that peloton is the yellow jersey of Robert Gessing, a Dutchman for the first time in this race history, has won the Amgen Tour of California, and he becomes only the second non-American to do so. Peter Sagan, the not yet 23 years of age man from Slovakia, has won stage 5 of a stage, his 5th stage, as he comes down into LA Live.
Well, I have to say Omega Pharma Quick Step got everything right there, Phil, but you just can't stop this man from Slovakia,
absolutely.
Peter Sagan. The team are here. They're giving him all of the congratulations that he needs. 22 years of age. That's his 8th victory of the season. He had 15 wins last year. I wonder how many he's going to get this year, and he's going to be a trouble for the sprinters in the Tour de France in July.
Well, Mark Cavendish, who is the great British sprinter who's won 20 stages of the Tour de France, better watch out in July, because he's going to be taking on this man who's never ridden in the Tour de France yet. He just powered away from Tom Bonen, got him right on the line. Tom Bonen is shaking his head, can't believe it.
Well, he did it right. It was his teammate Gerhard Scholek who was leading him out, himself a very good sprinter. This is the photo finish. He's got that by half a wheel. You can see how Tom Bonen is lunging his bike, but it was too late for Big Tom. And third place, I think, will go to Gerhard Scholek of Germany, and the same team as Tom Bonen.
This is the points competition now. He won it a year ago. He's kept that jersey. At one stage, he wore 3 jerseys, best young, yellow and green. He takes the green home.
I'll tell you one thing that's impressed me over the last week of racing by Peter Sagan, not only his ability to win bike races, Phil, but his improvement in the English language, because he really is enjoying the interviews after the finishes.
Could you imagine us going to Slovakia and speaking his language in a week? Absolutely terrific. Well done. As he waves to the crowd, we can look at the Visit California competition in a little bit more detail now. Peter Sagan was a clear winner of this. He's 87 points, dwarfing the 54 of Heinrich Hausler, got 4 fourths and a 5th. Tom Bonen third, Lee Howard 4th, the youngster on the Orica Green Edge team from Australia. Sylvain Georges in 5th place after his ride into Big Bear Lake. Let's go to Bob Roll. He's with Peter Sagan.
Peter, 5 stage wins and 4 days in the leader's jersey here at the Amgen Tour of California. Could it have gone any better?
I don't know. Maybe another one victory on the Big Bear, but in life we don't have everything. And now I'm very glad and happy. Thank you for my team. And I don't know, I like this country.
It looked like the Quick Step team did the big lead out today for Tom Bonen, but you still had the legs to come around. How did the last kilometer of the race go?
Yeah, and Tom Bonen have a good train, and the last kilometers was really fast, and in the last turn, right, is also dangerous, but it's good. We going here 6 times, and this is good. And after the last turn, I go 150 meters behind, and after I go in and finish first, and I'm happy.
Will we see you in the Tour de France this summer?
Yeah, I do it Tour de France, and I do it good. But I hope, for the last I want to win one stage, and we will see.
Well, Peter, congratulations and best of luck.
Thank you.
Well done, Peter. He's going to do it good, Paul, the Tour de France. You think he's as quick as Mark Cavendish?
Well, I think he'll go and take a stage victory out somewhere along the route of the Tour de France this year. Let's not forget, he doesn't yet know his capabilities. He's only 22 years of age, and he will continue to get better. So watch out for him in July.